with Jimmy's passing, I want to honor what happened and try to be light and inspiration for people who lost a loved one or loved ones, and hopefully help them. But at the end of the day, the person needs to do it. I can just share my experience, but then the person going through the process, right, needs to step up and do the work. When I was 20, I started skydiving, and I used to live in an apartment building. And I used to look down and say, if I knew I could survive, I would jump off of here. And at the end of that year, I decided to travel the world for 5 years. So my first stop was the States, and there I learned about this thing called base jumping. I decided to go to this thing called Bridge Day, which is an event that happens every year in West Virginia. So I headed to West Virginia and made my first base jump in 1986, and I totally fell in love with it. I met this guy, Steve Gersten, and in 1987 he came to Bridge Day with me. This was going to be his first base jump, and he made 3, but he died on his 3rd jump at the bridge. I was 22, I think, at the time. In base jumping, we meet a lot of people, we travel a lot. I think it's a very special type of person who wants to actually jump off an object. The kind of spirit you have is we're all, I don't know if wild is the word, but very down to earth and really treasure freedom. I think it's all about just being in touch with something bigger that this normal life. And with that comes this very deep connection between us jumpers. Throughout the years, I've lost so many friends that I don't even know how many, there are just so many. And it's very traumatic. About 2.5 years ago, I lost my husband. I met Jimmy in Hawaii. He was part of a free fly team from Paris, California. That's basically kind of like where our friendship started, and then, eventually the love interest. I think we complemented each other. He was funny and kept things a little lighter, and sometimes maybe I can be a little too serious. So I think it was a very good balance. We're a great team. The year before Jimmy passed, we did a ceremony together. This particular one is called Bufo. And during that ceremony, I got a message that Jimmy was going to be my spirit guide. And I remember telling him, I'm like, how can you be my spirit guide if I've been meditating and working with spirit for 37 years, so since Steve's death, and you just started meditating this week, and he's like, I don't know. And then when he passed 6 months later, I understood the message. And that message to this day really helps me cope with his passing. What I notice with a lot of base jumpers is that a lot of them don't have the tools to cope with death. When Steve passed, I didn't really have any tools until this mother of my friend, showed me spirituality. And to this date, I'm very thankful for her, because it's been a great way to go through life, in touch with not just the stuff that we see, but the stuff we don't see, and and it's so real, you know. I don't think that the way I cope with death or losses changed. It just got deeper and more broad through ceremonies and practice, meditation, different seminars, breath work. I have the tools, you know, to cope with this huge loss. And of course, because Jimmy is in a different plane now, I have the drive to really dig into it, to be connected with him. So now I really, you know, turned big time to spirituality even more. And of course, it's not easy, you know, it's part of the process as well. But it's, you know, I truly believe that this is part of my evolution as a soul. So my relationship with base jumping today, I always follow my heart. So I just keep following my heart. I have made maybe, let me see, I think about 5 base jumps since Jimmy's passing. And I'm thinking that I will make a few more jumps, but I don't see myself base jumping, you know, like as a normal activity anymore. You know, my drive now is towards energy work, healing, and there's so many different areas, right? There's so much to study, so much available to us. So I want to spend my time, dedicate my time to that, and not to, you know, going jumping 2-3 times a week like I used to. I spent almost 40 years of my life teaching. I think now I just want to be a student. There is a, hang on, Bala. I don't think that there is, Bala, Mama is almost ready. Mama is almost ready. Okay, you have to wait just one more moment, one more question. Yeah. Mommy's gonna answer it and then I'm gonna take you swimming, okay? Yes, good girl.